بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Now in the labs part, we'll be starting with different combinations. So what I'll do is I'll make a simple topology of 3 routers to verify with all these 3 routers here. And we'll try to configure the different routing protocol combinations here. So as you can see, I do already have my topology inside the GNS3, and I'm going to start these 3 devices. And I also have the console for all these 3 devices. So which means I can just go ahead and start the configuration and do the verification as well. So the first thing what I'll do is I'll try to quickly configure RIP and EIGRP in 2 different sites. This part I'm going to run RIP, and this part I'm going to run EIGRP, and then we'll verify the route exchange. So by default, you should not see this 10.subnet on the router 3. And the reason, because this is an EIGRP interface, this is an RIP interface, so there is no exchange of the routes between the different protocols. And then we'll go to this router, which is acting as my autonomous system border router, where we'll start the redistribution of RIP into EIGRP, which will ensure that these RIP routes are being learned, and likewise these routes from here to here. So we'll try to quickly configure these things. So on the routers, if you verify, we do have the basic IP configurations as per our topology. We already know this part. So we do have the basic IPs. And also, if I say show IP protocols, I do have some routing protocols already configured here. I'll try to remove that because I don't want my OSPF running here. Likewise, let me see if there is any routing protocol already configured here. So we don't have. So if I say show IP interface brief, we do have the interface IPs. This interface is down. It's okay. I'm not connecting that router 4. And on the router 1, I'm going to quickly confirm if there is any routing protocol. So there are some pre-configurations in my topology. So I'm going to remove that. So make sure that you don't have any routing configurations before you start. So whatever the previous labs, in case if you have saved, probably those configurations has to be removed. So the first thing, I'll try to quickly configure the basic RIP. Like on the router 1, I'm going to run RIP. So let's assume that 1 to 2 is running RIP and 2 to 3 is running EIGRP. So in the production scenarios, again, this can be plenty of routers running here. So not just 3 routers. So, but we are just trying to simulate the lab as if we just have plenty of routers. Okay, so if you want, you can just add and make it a bigger topology. But in terms of verification, 3 routers will be sufficient. So let's start with RIP configuration. We use version 2. Again, no auto summary we'll see in the summarization section. Network, advertise your 10.subnet. You can advertise the 10.subnet, which is my LAN interface, and advertise the 1.subnet. And if you want, you can also advertise the loopback interfaces. So let's advertise the loopback as well, just for the sake of verification. Even though these loopbacks are not mentioned in the diagram, but we just go ahead and do that. Now, likewise, I'll go to router 3. We'll come back to the router 2 later, but we'll go to router 3. On the router 3, I'm going to configure the EIGRP. So the EIGRP is running on the WAN interface, and then the EIGRP is running on the LAN interface. I'm also going to run the EIGRP on the loopbacks. So this will make our routing table look bigger. That's something, the advantage here. So on the router 3, I'm going to run complete EIGRP. On the router 1, it's a complete RIP. So we need to have at least one border router, compulsory, which is going to act as my autonomous system border router, which must have one interface running RIP, one interface running EIGRP. minimum one interface. Just like the translator must know both the languages, similar way, here the ASBR is your translator, which means he must be receiving the routes from RIP on one interface. And also he must be receiving the routes from EIGRP on any one interface. So typically we call this as autonomous system border routers. So we'll go to router 2. Let's configure both the protocols. Again, I'm going to advertise the 20.subnet and 1.subnet. Of course, the opposite interfaces must be the same protocol. You cannot run here RIP and here EIGRP. That's not going to work. So the opposite interfaces must be running the same protocol. So in my case, this side 1 to 2 will be running RIP. And also I'll advertise 20.network in RIP. And likewise, I'm going to run EIGRP on the other side, which is connecting between 2 to 3. That is 2.network as well as your, I don't have any other networks. So if you want, you can advertise 12 loopback as well. So if I say show IP protocols on the router 2, on the router 2 is running RIP protocol. And it is advertising these two interfaces, sending and receiving version 2. And also it is running EIGRP. And this EIGRP, it is going to advertise this 2.subnet in the EIGRP. You can even verify with show IP EIGRP interfaces. Now, if you say show IP route, now when you say show IP route, we do have the default route. That's okay. I can remove that. But if you say show IP route EIGRP, and as well as show IP route RIP, so this router 2 is actually receiving the route from both the sides. As you can see here, I'm receiving this 10.network here as an RIP route. Of course, I'm also advertising 10 and 11. And likewise, I'm also receiving this 30.network along with 13 loopbacks as an EIGRP route. You can see that D represents the EIGRP with the cost. So in our case, the translator or the autonomous system border router must be receiving the routes from both the sides. Now, but again, if you verify on the router 3, because the router 3 is running only EIGRP, if you say show IP route, you can see the connected routes, but you see any 10. Or 11. Subnets. So these subnets I'm not receiving here. The reason is simple. So these routes are advertised in RIP and it will reach only up to here, but not here, which means the router 3 will not be able to get those routes. Likewise, if I go to router 1 and if you verify show IP route RIP or just show IP route, I don't see any of the other routes. Can you see any 30 routes here? I don't see any 30 because the reason is simple. The 30 routes in our case is running EIGRP. It routes come here, but it will not go here because this interface is not running EIGRP. So the updates of the same protocol will only go to the interfaces running the same protocol by default. So what I want is I want to make sure that they exchange the prefixes, which means I have decided to configure the redistribution. So let's do redistribution. Now here we need to do mutual redistribution, which means we need to make sure that we are receiving the routes of an RIP. And I want this RIP route should get translated into EIGRP. That's the first thing. And likewise, you have to do opposite as well. So let's do one side. So the first thing, I'll try to redistribute the RIP routes into EIGRP. And on which router we have to do this? Your autonomous system border router. The border router, which is running both the protocols on at least one interface. So let's go to router 2. On the router 2, we need to tell that, okay, hello, router 2, you have to decide what is the direction. So I'm translating them into EIGRP. If you see the direction, I'm converting the routes into EIGRP. That's a direction. So which means we have to go inside the router EIGRP, okay? That's a direction. And then we need to tell redistribute. What is the source? Source means which routes you are translating. Now you can just, for easy understanding, you can say this is like the source protocol and this is like the destination protocol. So we need to redistribute the source protocol like RIP. and then use question mark, then you will see multiple options. So one of the option you will need to mandatory tell the metric, because now the metric issue will come because the RIP routes uses the hop counts and the EIGRP uses the bandwidth, delay, load, MTU, reliability. So the metric calculation is different in EIGRP, the metric calculation is different in RIP. So when we translate the route from RIP into EIGRP, then we also need to define the metric which EIGRP understands. So if you don't do this, in the case of EIGRP, if I don't give the metric, the default metric will be infinity, means it will not take any metric. So we must manually define the metric. In EIGRP, it is must. Of course, the behavior is a little bit different in different protocols. So I'm going to say metric, and the metric, you can see the options here. I'm redistributing into EIGRP. So the EIGRP metric, if you get back to the EIGRP basics, what we learned, it uses the bandwidth, delay, load, MTU, and reliability, right? So we need to define these 5 values. You can see the metric. You can use some random near to the default values metric in terms of kbps. Let's say 1000 kbps I'm giving, and then the delay default near to the default, so you can give 2000, because the main thing, whatever the values we give here, the cost will be calculated based on those values. So we generally give the values near to that interface, or whatever the cost, whatever the bandwidth and delay on that interface. That's something recommended. Of course, the reliability it will not use, so you can just give any number. But if you just wanted to give the default, we can say 255, where 100% reliable, and then the load, one is the load minimum, and then the MTU, the default is 1500. So you can always give the values near to the default. So even though I'm giving the metric, the bandwidth, delay, reliability, and load and MTU, as we discussed in the EIGRP, only the bandwidth and the delay are used in the metric calculation. That's it. So if you see, the configuration is a one-line command, what we configured here. So this is the same thing what I have configured. Now we'll do verification. So what I should see is, if you go to router 3, now I should see the routes. This is the actual output what I'm expecting. So let's go to the router 3 and do the quick verification. Again, I can say show IP route, or if you just wanted to filter, we can say show IP route EIGRP. Now I can see there are some EIGRP routes. So the EIGRP, again, the normal output of the EIGRP is D. D represents to internal routes coming from the same protocol. So here we don't have. And whereas the DX represents external routes, external EIGRP routes. So which means these routes are learned through redistribution. That's how it actually represents. Which means this represents, these are my external routes. So if you see just D, normal EIGRP routes, and whenever you see DEX, you have to say EIGRP external routes. Anytime if you don't remember the codes, you always need to check these codes here. D represents EIGRP, and then EX represents external. You will see the option somewhere here, EX. You can see the EX represents EIGRP external routes. Now, again, there is one more difference here, the administrative distance value. So the normal EIGRP will have the administrative distance value of 90. If you remember, let me just quickly add some routes here. So what I'll do is on the router 2, I'll advertise the loopbacks in EIGRP. That will make a little bit sense so that we can verify both internal as well as external. Now here you can see there are 2 different types of routes. One is we have internal routes. So the internal routes will have the default AD value of 90. That's what I said. And whereas your external routes will have the default AD value of 170. So the AD values will be 170 for external routes, and default will be 90. So that's the reason we say EIGRP administrative distance is either 90 or 170, depends upon whether it is an internal route or external route. And of course, whatever the cost value you get here, as you can see here, there are some few cost values. So this cost value is derived based on the bandwidth and delay, whatever we have defined at the time of redistribution. So this confirms that we are getting the routes on the router 3. As you can see, the routes are being translated into EIGRP. Now, likewise, we have to do mutual redistribution because, again, if you go back to the router 1, on the router 1, you don't see the routes coming from the router 3 for the same reason. Now we need to go back to the router 2, and this time we have to redistribute EIGRP into RIP. So which means this is my source, this is my destination. So we go inside on the router 2. I go inside my RIP and then redistribute. What is the protocol? The source protocol is EIGRP. Use question mark. You don't need to memorize the commands, AS number. And again, the metric here, we need to specify the metric in terms of hop counts because the RIP only understands hop counts and the maximum hop counts is 15, 16th hop is unreachable. So let's say I'm giving 4. Better you can start with 1. When you start with 1, it means it supports the next 15 routers. That's the thing. So if you say show IP route, or better you can just say show IP route RIP. So now you'll see the routes will be learned as an RIP. Now you can see I'm getting the routes. These routes are learned through RIP version 2. And the metric AD value will be the same. There is no difference for internal or external. And even you can see that it shows R. Again, the output is R for both internal as well as external. So there's no difference here in terms of output. There's no difference in terms of AD value. But of course, the cost value, whatever the cost you give at the time of redistribution, it will add those hop counts. So now you can see we do have end-to-end reachability. So if I try to ping to 31.1.1 from 10.1.1.1, you can see I do have end-to-end reachability. So the main reason is end-to-end reachability, right? So the end-to-end reachability is only established when the route exchange happens. And if it is the same protocol, then you don't need to do redistribution. But when you're running different routing protocols, then we need to make sure that we configure the redistribution on the autonomous system border router here.